Hello and welcome to GMT. I'm Samantha Simmons. The end of the caliphate has been declared, but thousands of Islamic State fighters and their wives and children are now stranded at a camp in northern Syria, which has ballooned in size and now holds 75,000 people. It's effectively a small city of fighters and their families. One might even say it is a tiny caliphate. With dozens of children dying at the camp, campaign groups say it's a humanitarian crisis. From the Al Hol camp, our Middle East correspondent Quentin Somerville has a special report.
A caliphate defeated, but the nightmare is not over. This is Al Hol internment camp. They are what's left of the Islamic State group, and they number in their tens of thousands. And with them, sons and daughters. The camp is overwhelmed. Here, the war wounded are children. A broken enemy that's in the midst of a humanitarian crisis. The camp's 3 small clinics struggle to provide even the basics. Most are just given antibiotics or painkillers. Despair lurks in every corner. Nur el-Islam's father died in the Battle of Baghouz. The 6-year-old from Turkmenistan was shot in the face 15 days ago, and she's still awaiting treatment. There were a lot of snipers, artillery and bombs. In Baghouz, we had tents. We didn't have houses. A sniper's shot came through the tent door. IS fighters used their own families as the last line of defence. And while they fought, their children starved. Asma Mohammed Yusuf is 6 months old. While Western governments prevaricate over what to do with the people here, children are dying. 169 have perished since leaving Baghouz. The Kurds never expected to be left with so many IS supporters to watch over. The misery flowed out of the Islamic State group's caliphate, and it didn't make it very far. It collected here at the Al Hol internment camp, and it became a flood. There are far many more people here than were ever expected. It was built for 7,000, but it contains 70,000. This is a desperate place, but there's also defiance here. The foreign women are the greatest threat. Ultra-extremists among them, they are locked up separately. Those that showed no mercy now demand it. The Islamic State attempted genocide against the Yazidi people. They enslaved Yazidi women.
Okay.
These are the reasons why you're here in this camp.
Okay, and then I will tell you. If Islamic State for you is a bad example, صح? It's a bad
The
thing.
Islamic State for the entire world is a bad example.
Show us then the good. Show us the good thing. Show us then. There's even those shower rooms there. The shower rooms. Yeah, I'm from Europe. I'm normally from Europe. We have a shower room. There's no shower rooms here.
The children are prisoners too, and they're still in danger. Many of their parents remain in the grip of the Islamic State group's hateful ideology. Few of their home countries want any of them back. Even in captivity, the malice overflows. The Americans better watch themselves. I swear, if we knew they would leave us here, we would have attacked and slaughtered them one by one. Al Hol risks being a mini caliphate.
Children are suffering. What is to be done?
I think the most important thing to remember at the get-go here is that these children are largely victims. A lot of these children were born into the Islamic State. Their only identity is that affiliated with Islamic State, and they have been forcibly become child soldiers in some cases, child brides in others, and many are traumatized. These children are victims and demand that we manage them, that we bring them home, that we reintegrate them, rehabilitate them, and give them the life that they deserve. In relation to women, Many of these women made an active choice to go over there, and many of them had very diverse roles there. They have to be looked at on a one case-to-case basis. They should be better managed at home. They should be detained, prosecuted, investigated where appropriate. But many countries are increasingly creating de-radicalization programs as well. So we have to consider what opportunities there are as well to better manage these women at home.
We've seen the dilemma here, of course, with the case of Shamima Begum, who was a teenager when she went off to join Islamic State and has since become a mother, and her baby died in an internment camp. But meanwhile, the British government revoked her British citizenship, and there's been a mixed response to that. Many people saying, well, she made her choices, she deserved it. Others saying that she was radicalised, she was a victim herself. There are so many complex issues there, not just about the women and how they came to join IS, but obviously their children as well. Do you argue that the women should be separated from their children, or should they be sent back to their home country and kept together and, as you say, either de-radicalised and prosecuted? And if that's the case, then who's to decide which one?
Yeah, so this is an unprecedented situation, and it is the argument that I make that women should be brought back, these children should be brought back, and they should be better managed at home. We have to think long term about this situation. These individuals will not remain in SDF custody forever. What happens to these kids in 5 years, in 10 years' time, when their only identity is that affiliated with ISIS, when these women are radicalizing other women in these camps, and when they're putting additional burden on local forces and local persons that are already facing significant lack of resources.
Dr. Joana Cook, it's a very complex issue, but we are out of time. I'm sure we'll discuss it again in the future, though. Thanks very much for coming.